Yes. Next, we have Ma Pallavi from Delhi joining with us to share her experiences of receiving the blessings from Devi Parashakti.
Nityanandam
Ma Pallavi, how are you? And how would you want to introduce yourself and your connection with Swamiji to our viewers today?
Yes. So I met Swamiji in 2016 in the Kumbh Mela for the first time, and I have always been connected with Swamiji. But yes, and recently I had a lot of breakthroughs, and I was a very different person at least 3 years ago. So I don't know. Like, I think I have changed a lot after meeting Swamiji, and every time it feels like, okay, this must be like good enough. But then I think he constantly works on me. Yes. So recently I had a lot of breakthroughs, and I was a very clueless person when I met Swamiji, and I thought that everything is fine, but I was extremely depressed when I met him. And slowly I began to understand things, and um, and about 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago, I started this business. And I wouldn't say that my feeling connection with Swamiji ever like became less or something, but somewhere after I started working on my own, like I went through a lot of delusions in the last 2 years, and last 1.5 years to be precise. So I'll start with the breakthroughs actually. So after I started my work, this was somewhere in August 2019. Uh, so initially everything was really nice, and I thought everything is going to come about nicely. But the first thing was that, there were so many. So basically I have an organic cafe and an organic brand here in New Delhi, and I also make organic cakes. So when I started this place, in the beginning, the first time, basically the cosmic logic, it sort of dropped, and I began to operate with binary logic, because I saw people around me, like, other business people, and I thought that, oh, I have to be like them. And slowly, because I tried to say copy what other people were doing and what worked for them, suddenly I went through a lot of stress and a lot of ups and downs. I prayed to Swamiji, but I thought that I cannot ask him for a solution, because Swamiji, uh, because I felt like I cannot let him down. I always felt that he'll think I'm not good enough. So I've always connected with Swamiji like my father, and not like a mother, actually. So I used to always, and I always want to impress my biological father. So I used to always feel that uh, uh, he will be disappointed with me, that he's given me so much, and yet I cannot use those cosmic truths to like manifest what I really need to manifest. And so, but then the corona pandemic happened. It was just 6 months into the business, and the corona pandemic happened, and then I was very, 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 I sort of collapsed, and I'm like, what do I do now? Because I had a lot of liabilities at that time. And this was when the Paramashivoham first season started. I did the Paramashivoham, and I was able to pay off my liabilities somehow. It just happened. And then I had to start again, all from the beginning. It felt like I had to start again from scratch. And that time, two of my Sangha friends, they really helped me. And I started out, like, I had a lot of products when I started out, but after the corona, I started out with again 4 products. And then slowly it just grew. And after corona, I saw that a lot of people closed their shops. But uh, I don't know, Swamiji inspired me to start a whole new range of products right after the first lockdown. And the business, the new ideas came. But at the same time, in the last 1.5 years, my health was very bad. So I'm also Swamiji's yoga acharya, but I stopped doing yoga after this business started because I used to constantly take so much stress. And in spite of being right now I'm at work, but in spite of being at work for more than 12 hours, I was not able to get things done. I was not able to get a lot of things done because I was always stressed. And recently, what happened, and I used to always ignore my health problems, always. But this year, around February, I could not ignore it because it started showing on the face. And then I went to a doctor, and then I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition. And I'm a person who gets very afraid of losing physical health, even though I was losing it. But when I heard there was a time I could not move my hands. And it happened twice, once in November, once in February. In November, I still said, no, the break even is so important. I have to break even. So I said, let it be. And I I prayed to Swamiji, but I used to only pray to Swamiji on the day before I have to pay my bills. I used to fight with all the binary logic all throughout. And in the end, I used to be like, okay, I have suffered now. Now let's go to Swamiji. And then I used to do that. That was the pattern. And when this hand pain started, I could not move my fingers. And still I didn't get scared. But again, when it happened this year, I got really worried. I went to the doctor. The doctor said, I went to many doctors, and they all said, you have rheumatism. Then other doctors said, oh, we need to do a few more tests. You might have lupus and this and that. That's when I got very scared. And I said, I will eat haritaki. That's all I did. I ate the haritaki, I drank the castor oil, I did everything Swamiji. I did the enema. And even though I was teaching yoga earlier, like Nityananda yoga to all my students, I used to not have it. I'm being very honest. So I used to skip it. Whenever I could, I used to give an excuse. But this time around, I just did everything. And as much as I could, even the eye wash and even the gel niti, everything. And very quickly, like in 2 weeks' time, I felt that I'm not sick. And in 3 weeks' time, I felt that everything is fine. And now I don't want to go to any doctor. And it was, but when that point was very less, that time was very bad when I felt that physical pain. And right after that, again, but I was still stressed about the business. So that time I spoke to another friend from the Sangha, and I told him that I'm trying so hard. Why isn't the business becoming profitable? And I had stopped, of course, the growth is there. The growth is there. There is so much growth, but the money is not coming. Why is it? And then suddenly he told me that you have to drop the inner struggle. You have to surrender to Swamiji. And then I said, I love Swamiji, but I don't know how to surrender. And then I just, so I just told Swamiji, I want to surrender. I want to surrender. And I used to just repeat it and I like to repeat the satsangs verbatim. So I just said that, okay, no matter how dumb it sounds, I will say that I want to surrender and it will happen. And it happened very quickly. I don't know in how many weeks or days, I stopped getting scared of anything. And even though I have to pay a big bill, huge liability, I'm like, it will happen. It's okay. I will just do what I need to do just now. Maybe make the next order or do the next thing or talk to the next customer. So I used to just do that much. And a lot of things happened. I had a lot of other problems. I will leave that aside, and my health is done. And then one more thing happened. The health improved, the business improved. And one very important thing happened. So I'm very, very close to my father. My father was very ill suddenly. I got a news that he has this, he had a heart disease with 3 blockages. And my father is very connected to Lord Shiva. He's not connected to Swamiji, but he's connected to Lord Shiva. And for 2 days, I cried to Swamiji because I'm like, how can it happen to him? And I went into extreme powerlessness. Like, this cannot happen. And again, I don't know what happened on the 3rd day. Suddenly, I was okay. That was another time I went into a extreme low. And now I feel I don't know what is the situation. If my father needs I think he doesn't need a surgery anymore, because he sounded like a person who is sick for the first time in his life. And if Swamiji is watching this, I want him to know that I want my father to be connected to Swamiji as soon as possible. And or you can tell him, Ma, please. It will be very nice.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful sharing. You sharing about your breakthroughs of how you're
Yes.
your business and your health and the completion of your father and your father's health, etc. So thank you so much for joining the show today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye. Yes.
Yes. Before we go to the next participant, let us have a quick